When we encounter situations where blame seems unavoidable, we often find ourselves tempted to assign fault to a specific individual or group. The desire to find someone or something to blame is a natural human instinct. It provides a sense of clarity and closure in a messy, chaotic world. We want to believe that the bad things that happen to us or around us are the result of intentional malevolent acts. By identifying a culprit, we can direct our anger and frustration toward that target, which feels both satisfying and necessary. It gives us a clear sense of right and wrong, of good and evil, and it lets us neatly categorize the complexities of the human experience. However, this instinctual response is misleading. Most of the time, blaming another person or group only scratches the surface of the real problems at play. According to Carlos Cipila, penetrating insights on the nature of stupidity, the root cause of most issues lies not in malice or hate, but in the seemingly benign realm of stupidity. In his thought-provoking book, The Basic Laws of Human Stupidity, Cipila explores the darker side of human nature, arguing that stupidity is not just a character trait or a product of ignorance, but a potent force that drives much of the chaos and destruction in our world. To understand the gravity of this statement and its implications, let's break it down. Malice and hate are emotions that we generally associate with negative behaviors. They represent conscious choices to inflict harm or spread negativity towards others, often driven by selfish motivations such as greed, egotism, or prejudice. On the other hand, stupidity refers to a lack of knowledge, wisdom, or good judgment, often characterized by an inability to learn from experience or to understand complex ideas. So when Cipila claims that 99% of the world's problems stem not from malice, but from stupidity, he is making a bold assertion that challenges our conventional understanding of human behavior and societal issues. This perspective is unsettling because it suggests that the vast majority of problems we face are not the result of deliberate actions by bad people, but rather the unintended consequences of ordinary people lacking knowledge, wisdom, or good judgment. To unpack the meaning of Cipila's controversial claim, it is essential to consider two key aspects. First, we must examine what constitutes the 99% of problems he refers to. Second, we need to understand how stupidity plays a role in creating these problems. Let's start with the first aspect. When we think about the problems facing humanity, we usually focus on issues caused by malicious actors or systemic issues driven by greed, power, or prejudice. We imagine wars started by ruthless dictators, financial crises caused by greedy bankers, or environmental damage resulting from corporations prioritizing profits over sustainability. However, if we step back and analyze the root causes of these problems, we often find that they are not driven by malice or hatred, but by a combination of ignorance, incompetence, and poor decision. Take, for example, the environmental crisis we currently face. While there are undoubtedly some individuals and corporations that have acted causing damage to the environment for personal gain, the vast majority of environmental problems have arisen from a lack of understanding of the delicate balance of our ecosystems. Similarly, many wars have been started not by leaders driven by hatred towards other ethnic or religious groups, but by incompetent rulers or those who have made poor decisions based on flawed intelligence or a lack of understanding of the consequences of their actions. Now, it is important to note that this is not to excuse or condone the actions of these individuals. Rather, it is to recognize that their actions were often driven by a combination of factors, including stupidity, and not simply by malice. This brings us to the second aspect, stupidity. According to Carlos Cipila, stupidity is not just a lack of knowledge or intelligence. Instead, he argues that it is a potent force that can drive individuals and societies to make terrible decisions and cause immense harm. In his book, he explores various forms of stupidity, such as the inability to learn from experience, the resistance to new ideas, and the tendency to overestimate one's own abilities. All of these forms of stupidity can lead to poor decision-making and ultimately contribute to the problems facing humanity. For instance, the inability to learn from experience can lead to the repetition of past mistakes, while the resistance to new ideas can prevent societies from adopting innovative solutions to complex problems. The tendency to overestimate one's own abilities can lead to overconfidence and a willingness to take on unnecessary risks. These tendencies, common among individuals, can have devastating effects when they manifest in large organizations or within government institutions. When stupid decisions are made by those in power, the consequences can be much more significant and far. A government agency making a poor decision based on flawed data, a corporation implementing a new policy without considering its potential downsides, or a group of friends embarking on a risky adventure without proper planning. All of these examples demonstrate how stupidity can lead to major problems. In each case, the consequences of stupidity are more significant than had a malicious or hateful act been the cause. These examples illustrate how stupidity can lead to problems that are not only more widespread and harmful than those caused by malice, but also more difficult to address. Unlike problems rooted in hatred, which often have clear-cut solutions involving addressing the underlying biases or prejudices, Problems caused by stupidity are more complex and nuanced. They require not just a change in attitude or behavior, but often a fundamental shift in how we perceive the world around us. This is the challenge posed by Carlos Cipila's assertion that 99% of the world's problems are caused by stupidity and not malice. It challenges us to look beyond the obvious sources of conflict and hatred and to examine the more subtle and insidious effects of human stupidity. It urges us to recognize that the vast majority of problems we face are not the result of deliberate actions by bad people, but rather the unintended consequences of ordinary people lacking knowledge, wisdom, or good judgment. Facing this reality is difficult, as it challenges our innate desire to categorize the world into simple binaries of good and evil, right and wrong. But it is a necessary step toward finding more effective solutions to the complex problems we face. Only by acknowledging the role of stupidity in our collective problems can we begin to develop strategies to address them more effectively. This requires a combination of promoting education, encouraging critical thinking, and fostering a culture that values wisdom and humility. It also means confronting our own tendencies towards stupidity and recognizing the limits of our own knowledge and abilities. By doing so, we can work toward creating a better future for ourselves and for humanity as a whole. In a world where intelligence isn't always valued, and the complexities of human behavior can be overlooked, Cipila's wisdom offers a beacon of clarity. His words serve as a reminder that understanding the dynamics of human behavior is not just an academic exercise, but a vital skill for navigating the complexities of life. By categorizing human behavior, we gain a powerful lens through which to observe the actions of others and, more importantly, our own behavior. And in doing so, we open ourselves to a deeper understanding of the world around us. One of the most insightful aspects of his work is his framework for understanding human behavior. In his essay, he outlines 4 fundamental categories of people based on how their actions impact others. These categories offer a lens through which we can better understand human motivations, behaviors, and the consequences of those behaviors. While we may recognize that some people are more harmful than others, Cipila's categorization helps us see the deeper dynamics that govern why certain individuals cause more harm than others, and why stupidity is so dangerous. First, Cipila distinguishes between the helpless, bandits, intelligent, and stupid. Each of these categories is defined not only by the individual's behavior, but also by how their actions affect others, both directly and indirectly. The helpless person, is one whose actions primarily result in a loss for themselves, but a gain for someone else. This individual typically lacks the skills, knowledge, or resources to make decisions that benefit their own well-being. However, their actions inadvertently benefit others, either by their labor, their passive behavior, or their lack of intervention. While the helpless person may be well-meaning and not malicious, they often contribute to the success or benefit of others while suffering themselves. This category might seem less harmful at first glance, as the helpless person is often seen as a victim of circumstances rather than an active agent of harm. However, Cipila's point is that the helpless contribute to a larger societal imbalance, as their lack of agency enables others to flourish at their expense. On a larger scale, the persistence of helpless individuals in society leads to systemic inequalities, where certain groups benefit disproportionately from the lack of action or the passive behavior of others. The bandit. The bandit represents a person whose actions cause harm to others for their own personal gain. Unlike the helpless, the bandit is fully aware of the harm they are causing and is driven by power and personal advantage. The bandit's primary goal is to extract benefits for themselves at the expense of others. While bandits are typically viewed as malicious and their behavior easily identifiable, the complexity lies in how they justify their actions. Bandits often rationalize their behavior, framing their harmful actions as necessary for their survival or success. On a societal level, bandits can be incredibly destructive. They are often found in positions of power where they exploit resources, manipulate others, and consolidate their control for personal benefit. The bandit can be seen in many spheres of life: in business, politics, and even personal relationships. Whether it's a corrupt politician or an unscrupulous CEO, bandits create inequality by taking from others to enhance their own position. What makes them particularly dangerous is their ability to disguise their self-interests under the guise of necessity, making their harmful actions more difficult to challenge. The intelligent person is someone who consistently acts in a way that benefits both themselves and others. Their decisions and actions are characterized by a balance of rationality, foresight, and empathy. The intelligent individual recognizes that true success does not come at the expense of others. Rather, it comes from creating win-win situations where all parties involved can benefit. The intelligent person uses their knowledge, skills, and understanding of the world to uplift others, contributing to the common good while also ensuring their own well-being. This category represents the ideal. The intelligent person is the one who strives for personal growth and the betterment of society at large. They are thoughtful, reflective, and proactive, working to minimize harm and maximize benefit. While they may not always be in positions of power or control, their impact is often for intelligent individuals have the potential to foster positive change, whether in their personal relationships, professional endeavors, or social systems. They are the ones who recognize the value of collaboration, mutual respect, and ethical behavior. However, Cipila warns that intelligence alone is not enough to counteract stupidity. If the number of stupid individuals outweighs those who act intelligently, even intelligent people can be vulnerable if they are surrounded by a larger number of individuals who lack reason or who are actively engaged in harmful behavior. The stupid. This is the category that Cipila is most concerned with, and rightly so. According to Cipila, the stupid person is one who causes harm to others without any gain for themselves, and in many cases, even suffers harm as a result of their actions. The stupid person's behavior is not just harmful, but also irrational. They make decisions that not only negatively impact others, but also fail to benefit themselves. Unlike the bandit, who is self-serving, the stupid's actions are aimless, haphazard, and without any clear logic or rationale. The stupid person lacks the capacity to understand the consequences of their actions. They fail to see the broader picture and act in ways that are detrimental to themselves and those around them. What makes them particularly dangerous is that their stupidity is often difficult to predict. While a bandit's actions are motivated by clear self-interest, a stupid person can harm others for no reason at all, or out of sheer ignorance. They are unpredictable and often leave destruction in their wake. Cipila emphasizes that the stupid are not just a nuisance. They are a societal threat. Their actions can lead to the downfall of relationships, businesses, governments, and even entire civilizations. The stupid's failure to understand the consequences of their actions, combined with their sheer numbers, makes them a powerful force for destruction. In Cipila's view, the stupid are the most dangerous group of all because they act without logic or foresight, and their influence can often go unnoticed until it is too late. Moreover, the stupid are not just a passive group, they can also actively resist efforts to improve or change. The stupid tend to reject solutions that challenge their deeply held beliefs or preconceived notions, even when those solutions are objectively beneficial. This makes them particularly difficult to educate or reform, as they are impervious to reason and logic. The super stupid. A step beyond Cipila goes one step further in his analysis and introduces the concept of the super stupid, those who take their stupidity to an extreme level. While the average stupid person harms others without benefiting themselves, the super stupid go even further, consistently causing harm to both themselves and others. These individuals are more than just unintelligent. They are self-destructive in ways that go beyond the norm. They actively engage in behaviors that not only fail to benefit anyone, but also worsen their own situation. The super stupid are a rare, but particularly dangerous breed because their actions can create widespread chaos, often undermining both their own interests and the interests of society as a whole. Their level of stupidity is so extreme that they become a direct threat to everyone around them. The super stupid tend to be more noticeable in society, due to the sheer magnitude of the damage they cause. They often hold positions of power or influence, and their extreme decisions can have catastrophic consequences, whether they are political leaders, business moguls, or individuals in key positions of authority. The super stupid are uniquely capable of inflicting large-scale harm. The interplay between these categories, what Cipila ultimately aims to show, is the complex interplay between these four categories. The actions of the stupid, bandits, helpless, and intelligent individuals shape the world we live in. Their behavior impacts the quality of life for everyone, whether they are aware of it or not. The challenge, Cipila argues, is not only recognizing these categories, but also understanding how their presence in society can influence the overall functioning of social, political, and economic systems. As we move through life, we are constantly interacting with people from all four categories. Understanding the dynamics between them is essential for navigating society and mitigating the harmful effects of stupidity. In a world where the stupid often outnumber the intelligent, Cipila's work challenges us to be more aware of these dynamics, and to actively seek ways to counteract the destructive influence of the stupid. Ultimately, Cipila's framework serves as a reminder of the importance of understanding human behavior and its impact on the world around us. By recognizing the different categories of human behavior and the motivations behind them, we can better navigate the complexities of social interactions and work towards creating a better world. It encourages us to be more aware of the motivations of others and to reflect on our own behavior as we strive to make a positive impact on the world. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing. Cipila begins his work by exposing a harsh reality. The world is not a fair place. He presents 4 laws that drive this unfairness, starting with the troubling observation that most people are stupid. However, it's not enough to merely state this. To truly understand the gravity of the situation, we must delve deeper into the implications of this fact and explore how it shapes our experiences and influences our actions. The first step in this journey is recognizing the prevalence of stupidity and acknowledging its potential to harm us. This is not about being pessimistic or cynical. Rather, it is about facing a harsh truth that often goes unexamined. By acknowledging this reality, we open the door to finding ways to protect ourselves and even thrive in spite of it. But how do we do this? How can we not only survive but succeed in a world filled with individuals whose irrational decisions can negatively impact our lives? The answer lies in understanding the motivations and behaviors of the stupid and learning to anticipate their actions. Only then can we begin to craft strategies that help us navigate the challenges they present. As we continue our exploration of Cipila's laws, we learn about the motivations and actions of the stupid and discover how we can better position ourselves to thrive in a world where their behavior is often the norm. We'll see that while the world may be inherently unfair, understanding the dynamics at play gives us the power to shape our own destinies. The concept of stupidity is a recurring theme throughout history, often serving as a cautionary tale that permeates literature, philosophy, and even politics. The ancient Greek playwright Euripides, for instance, explored the dangers of stupidity in his play, The Trojan Women. Through the character of Helen, he showed how a single foolish decision, her choice to leave Sparta for Troy, can lead to the destruction of entire civilizations. Similarly, Shakespeare, in his play Measure for Measure, portrayed the detrimental effects of stupidity on justice and morality. The character of Angelo embodies this, showing how rigid adherence to rules and regulations without any understanding of their underlying purpose can lead to disastrous consequences. Both Euripides and Shakespeare understood that stupidity, far from being a mere character flaw, is a potent force capable of altering the course of history. This idea is echoed in Confucius's famous quote, "He who is slow to learn must be taught repeatedly." This proverb highlights the universality of stupidity and the need for constant vigilance. It reminds us that we must remain cautious and patient in our dealings with others, because the stupid often require constant reminders of what is right and just. History is replete with examples of stupidity leading to downfall, from the failed invasion of Russia by Napoleon Bonaparte to the collapse of the Soviet Union due to bureaucratic mismanagement. Each of these instances serves as a reminder of the importance of understanding and mitigating the risks associated with stupidity. The consequences of failing to do so can be dire, as we've seen. Thus, learning to identify and anticipate the actions of stupid individuals is not just a matter of personal growth, but a vital skill for navigating the complexities of our world. In our increasingly interconnected and interdependent society, the impact of stupidity is only growing. Stupidity can be observed across various levels of human interaction, from interpersonal relationships to international diplomacy. At the interpersonal level, we encounter stupidity in situations where someone's irrational actions or decisions directly affect us. This could involve a colleague who fails to fulfill their responsibilities, a friend who spreads false information, or even a family member who engages in harmful behavior. In each of these cases, the stupid individual acts in a manner that negatively impacts our lives, whether intentionally or unintentionally. On a broader scale, stupidity plays a significant role in shaping our social and political landscape. Consider, for example, the rise of populism and nationalism in recent years. Much of this surge can be attributed to the influence of stupid individuals who exploit fear and ignorance to gain power. These individuals prey on the emotions of the masses, manipulating them through misinformation and appealing to base instincts rather than engaging in rational discourse. Another area where stupidity exerts a profound impact is in the realm of international relations. Conflicts and misunderstandings between nations often arise from the actions of stupid leaders, who prioritize short-term gains over long-term consequences. The failure to address climate change is a prime example of this, with certain world leaders dismissing scientific evidence and deriding environmental policies as unnecessary restrictions. Such actions not only jeopardize the well-being of current and future generations, but also risk escalating tensions and conflicts between nations. Even in seemingly mundane aspects of our daily lives, stupidity is never far behind. Take, for instance, the common experience of trying to contact customer service for assistance. The automated phone menus, the long hold times, and the frustrating responses of call center representatives all serve as testaments to the pervasiveness of stupidity in our everyday lives. These experiences, though seemingly trivial, highlight the extent to which stupidity permeates every facet of our existence. It is a constant companion that we must learn to deal with effectively. If we want to thrive in an increasingly complex and challenging world, understanding and anticipating the actions of stupid individuals is therefore not just a matter of intellectual curiosity, but a practical necessity. By recognizing the different contexts in which stupidity manifests itself, we can develop strategies for mitigating its negative effects and harnessing opportunities for personal and collective growth. Whether dealing with a careless coworker, a national leader who rejects science, or an indifferent customer service representative, having the insight to understand the motivations and actions of the stupid will serve us well. By embracing this understanding, we equip ourselves with the tools necessary to navigate the pitfalls of stupidity and chart a path towards success in an unfair world. To fully comprehend the consequences of stupidity, we must first understand the nature of the stupid themselves. In Cipila's work, they emerge as a multifaceted group driven by a variety of motivations, from malice and incompetence to ignorance and one of the most prominent characteristics of the stupid is their incapacity to understand the motivations behind their own actions. They operate on a surface level, driven by immediate impulses and desires without delving into the deeper causes that drive their behavior. This lack of introspection limits their ability to learn and grow, trapping them in a cycle of repetitive mistakes and missed opportunities. Moreover, the stupid are often unable to see beyond their own perspectives, making it difficult for them to empathize with or understand the viewpoints of others. This lack of empathy can lead to insensitive or hurtful actions that damage relationships and hinder collaborative efforts. Additionally, stupidity is often accompanied by a refusal to acknowledge one's own ignorance. The stupid tend to overestimate their own abilities and knowledge, leading to a false sense of competence that prevents them from seeking guidance or accepting constructive criticism. This unwillingness to learn and adapt leaves them vulnerable to manipulation and exploitation by more cunning individuals. Furthermore, the stupid are characterized by an incapacity for critical thinking and an inability to analyze complex situations effectively. They rely heavily on stereotypes, biases, and simplistic solutions, which often lead to poor decision-making and unforeseen consequences. This lack of critical thinking skills prevents them from grasping the subtle nuances of the world around them, leading to misunderstandings and conflicts. The stupid are also driven by a strong self-interest that often supersedes any sense of fairness or justice. They pursue their own agendas relentlessly, disregarding the rights and feelings of others and trampling over anyone who stands in their way. This selfish behavior creates an environment of distrust and animosity, hindering the formation of meaningful relationships and collaborations. Finally, stupidity often manifests itself in a lack of emotional control, with stupid individuals acting impulsively and reacting excessively to minor provocations. Their inability to manage their emotions can lead to volatile behavior that disrupts harmony and stability in both personal and professional settings. By understanding the motivations that drive the stupid, we gain valuable insight into their behavior and can better anticipate their actions in various situations. Recognizing these motivations allows us to develop strategies for mitigating the negative effects of their behavior and navigating the complexities of an unfair world. As we continue to explore the implications of stupidity, it's essential to remember that the stupid are not a monolithic group, but rather a diverse collection of individuals driven by a variety of motivations. The motivations we've discussed here are not exhaustive, but serve as a foundation for understanding the complexity of the stupid and the challenges they present. Ultimately, confronting the harsh realities of stupidity and understanding the motivations that drive those who embody these traits is a crucial step towards creating positive change in our lives. By recognizing the prevalence of stupidity, analyzing the motivations of stupid individuals, and anticipating their behavior, we can better navigate the complexities of our world and strive to create a better future for ourselves. While the world may seem inherently unfair, understanding these concepts equips us with the knowledge and tools necessary to overcome the challenges posed by stupidity and create a brighter future. Remember that true strength lies not in denying the harsh realities of the world, but in confronting them head-on with knowledge and understanding. As we continue our exploration of Cipala's laws, we delve deeper into the strategies and mindsets needed to thrive in a world dominated by the stupid. By embracing these principles, we can empower ourselves to create positive change and achieve success on our own terms.